15 wackiest, weirdest reasons people got arrested for. With social media surrounding our every step, it's easy to have access to the latest news and updates. Whether we like it or not, this includes the weirdest reasons people got arrested for, and we're not going to spoil it for you guys. But as we go from one incident to another, things go weirder and weirder. 1. Opening Christmas gifts when you're not supposed to. We have a 12-year-old who went against his grandmother's request and opened the Christmas gift she had for him, a gift that was laying under the tree. Granny was upset, went to his mother, and she decided to call the cops when the kid refused to say where the gift was. Granted, the gift in question was a Nintendo Game Boy Advance, a console the boy was very keen on getting at the time, 2006. It all ended with the kid giving the console to his mother, but she still called the police to teach him a lesson. He was arrested for petty larceny, charged as a juvenile, and released the same day. A Christmas to remember. 2. Driving on the sidewalk to avoid a school bus. In 2012, Sheena Harden from Cleveland decided she was in such a rush that she couldn't wait for the stopped school bus in front of her to start moving again, so she made a run for it on the sidewalk. She got caught, and the judge served her with a rather unusual sentence. Along with the $250 fine, she had to hold a sign saying, "Only an idiot would drive on the sidewalk to avoid a school bus for an hour for 2 consecutive mornings." Her take on it: "I broke traffic laws no different from running a red light or texting while driving. All have the potential of dangerous consequences. It's a learning lesson for me and an example for my daughter that if you make poor or bad choices, then you have to suffer the consequences. But this won't break me, and I'll move forward." 3. Refusing to give a kid his ball back. Edna Jester from Ohio was arrested in October 2008 for not returning a football that landed in her yard when kids were playing in the street. One of the kids went to his dada, and he was the one calling the cops. The old lady was warned twice and then arrested after she failed to accept a citation. She was charged with petty theft, but the case was later dropped. She then sued the parents that called the police, claiming she suffered emotional distress because footballs kept landing on her yard. Reports show her attorney dropped the lawsuit in the end, and everyone lived happily ever after. 4. Twerking in front of a school bus. Another school bus incident, this time a bit spicier. Valerie Dixon, a homeless woman from Florida, has been charged with disorderly conduct after twerking, aka presenting a vulgar display in front of children. She was arrested and then released from jail on a $250 bond. 5. Playing a tape with a dog barking at 3 a.m. A little bit of context. Your neighbor has a very noisy, barky dog, so you decide to record the doggo and play the recording back to your neighbor in the middle of the night. That's exactly what brought a harassment charge against Andrew Nicklin from Westheath, Birmingham, UK. Apparently, he also played the drums loudly and kept banging on her fence, all because he was annoyed with Buster's barking. 6. Cops mistaking 2 bars of homemade soap with cocaine. How silly is this? Annadelle Cruz and Alexander Bernstein spent a whole month in prison unable to post bail, $250,000 and $500,000 respectively. This was all because the field test that was run on the bars of soap detected illicit substances when in fact there were none. In the end, only a lab result got them out of jail. 7. Being in the nude and shouting at trees. Imagine being so stressed out that you do the only thing that instantly calms you down, shouting while naked. Yes, Dieter Brown said that, "Feeling the breeze on my naked skin really calms me down." So instead of going home angry, he took his clothes off and started shouting at a tree because he didn't want to cause distress to people around them. 8. carrying explosive device without even knowing about it. We had to go through several media outlets to check this one out. That's how weird it was. A test for sniffer dogs was taking place in January 2010 at the airport, but it had a rather unusual scenario. Explosive packages were placed in various random luggage, all belonging to travelers that had no idea this task was being performed. A local Slovakian police officer failed to remove an explosive device that was detected by dogs, so the passenger got on board the flight from Slovakia to Ireland while having the bomb in the bag. He was arrested in Dublin a few days later, and after a lot of going back and forth, he was cleared of any wrongdoing. 9. A man was arrested for having sex with an inflatable pink pool raft. 10. Hitting someone with butter. A woman, apparently drunk on vodka, beat her roommate with butter. 11. Florida man arrested after throwing an alligator through drive-through window. This is one of those many classic Florida man headlines. And yes, the alligator was alive. 12. For playing Highway to Hell too loud. Joyce Coffey did something spectacular. She got arrested not once, not twice, but 4 times in just 26 hours. Why? Because of the same thing. She played Highway to Hell way too loud. Talk about dedication. 13. For hiding a python in his pants. This man thought it would be a good idea to try and steal a python from a pet store by hiding it in his pants. Genius move. 14. For calling 911 because his iPhone wasn't working. It's bad enough people with real emergencies couldn't call 911 at that time, but this guy didn't call 911 once or twice, but 5 times. 15. For trying to rob a place using duct tape for a mask. It just goes to show that duct tape isn't always the solution. Well, these are some of the weirdest crimes or funny crimes to be arrested for, depending on how you look at it. We hope you found a few that made you chuckle. We sure did. But these are just our weirdest reasons people got arrested for, and if you know of any others, share them in the comments. Have a good one.